and introduce this amazing project that you had an opportunity to share with us. So if you'd be so kind, we actually now have on the screen New Jersey Underground Railroad. As I mentioned to you, I'm working with a team now in Windsor, Canada, that is, in fact, that place just north of Detroit, that is a landing place for those people traveling from the United States to freedom. Yes. However, it is also just a southern tip. That railway extends all the way through Quebec. And what we're hoping to do is to create this as a center of peace, because we have so much division and diversity in our world right now, but we're all one people. So as you know, August the 1st of last year was a celebration of the United Nations Permanent Forum for People of African Descent. Also, this is during the decade of people for African descent from 2015 through 2024. So what we're hoping, sir, is that what you can allow us to do is empower you to accomplish your goals, dreams, and objectives. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing the screen and treat this as your Hollywood moment, and that you have a wider audience than just one here, if you'd be so kind.
Yes, yes. Yes, well, to give you a highlight on who, give you a quick influence on my bio, I'm a book writer. I have developed 3 books over the last 10 years. One, being though I lived in New Jersey, now I'm living here in Florida, but I grew up researching, photographing, and filming African-American history in the 16, 17, and 1800s. As you indicated, the roots of the Underground Railroad run smack straight through New Jersey. So I know all that history from my researching and from my tons of photographs, from my film interview of prominent historians in the tri-state area. I didn't focus so much on New Jersey, focused a lot on New Jersey, but it made sense to me to tag in New York as well as Pennsylvania. And as you see with the Sankofa project, I'll get into that in a second, tying on African-American history across the country. So before I left New Jersey, I have tons of collection dealing with African-American history. If you talk about African-American history, you talk about world history. So when I moved here to Florida, I decided, after watching a program on TV and watching these kids here in Florida put together a virtual reality 3D project. I can't remember what it was, but what I saw on the news just caught my attention. A bell just rang, and it said to me, wow, you know, I got this huge collection of work that I've done for 20 and 30 years, as well as developing book. I said, I need to put this collection to a good use. It made sense to, once I saw what the students did, create a virtual reality 3D museum. Sometimes when you talk to people and you show them, you took a whole year in building and putting together a museum in the state of New Jersey, but some people just don't get it. So instead of leaving my proposal, I decided to come here to Florida, invest my own money, and I put together a team of people, an architect, 2 editors, a web-based designer, and other technical people. And it took us a year and a half. And you see the website. We built this virtual reality 3D museum using my collection. And I'm in contact with 20 to 30 other Black collectors across the country. Their collection is more blown out than mine, but I will tie them into the second phase, where if you go to the website, we launched in February of this year, February the 28th, we launched, and WCBS-TV called me up and said, oh, we heard you built this museum. And I'm like, yes, it's online. They said, we would like to come and interview you. They came to my house. They spent the whole hour interviewing me. That night it was on, the teaser was on that evening at 6 o'clock. And then the 2-minute version came out at 11. When that launched, it went viral across the country. We just took off. The emails and calls that I've getting indicated they wanted to see the museum. I said, it's live. Just go to the website, log in, create a profile page. It's free. We don't charge you a penny. We're looking to expand this, and we're looking to sell our profile. We're looking to lease out our program or the platform to any school, any library, Now we're going into social media where we're going to build this site, K through 12 schools, K through 12 colleges, universities, a library, and we finished up the app. We haven't launched the app yet because I'm kind of leaning towards waiting for the second phase to finish, which I'm hoping by February or March of next year. Well, I need that capital. I invested my money to build it, but I need the capital to bring the team back together and push the platform to the next level.
Well, before we walk through the website, I do want to remind you that technically your calendar invite was for 3:15 p.m. So there were some people that are invited that haven't yet joined us. They may join us soon. But in the meantime, we are streaming it. I do see someone coming in now as we speak. And I do see other people coming in as we speak. So yeah, I'm going to, if it's okay with you, I'm going to share my screen, or could you share your screen and walk us through?
Yeah.
That would be very helpful.
I'll share the screen. I should have told me I would have had it set up, but I'll set it up. No problem. Share. You let me share. So now I'm going to take you to the website. It should opens. Come on. Oh, it's loading. Okay.
No worries. It does work. I've got it loaded on my computer, so I know it works.
Here it comes. Okay, no problem. And so this takes you to the main page of the website. And when you come into the page of the website, you'll see the main page. Stroll down. That's just the main page. And it takes you to links and how you can get in. When you come into the museum, come into the main page, you click on the exhibits. It's going to ask you for you have to log in and create a profile page. I'm already there, so it should not ask me to log in. Some technical things that we're going to fix second phase. Once you log in, where it's loading, once you put in your name, address, profile page, username, it'll save, and then it'll take you to the policy statements. Yeah, you don't have to read all that. It's a lot of stuff, and it should not take me there. It should take me right to the main page. I'm already logged in, so it shouldn't take me there, but it should take me into the museum. I may have to go back to the main page, but it should not take me there. Let me try it again. Wish you would have told me. If you would have told me, I would have had this set up for you.
Well, if you will remember the email I sent you, it did typically ask if we could live stream. But at any rate,
it's coming.
So go right ahead.
It's coming. Give it some time. It's loading. And policy is going to ask you for the policy page. You don't need to read that. Click on that, and it takes you into the main page from there. Some technical things we're going to work on. Once you get into the main page and you come to the first floor, over here, you can reduce this. This just shows you where you're at on the first floor. You can stream that down. If you want to bypass the first floor and go to the second or third floor, you can go to either floor. So say if you want to go to the second floor, you click on that, you'll see a little orange house on each floor. And you can use your mouse. Once it loads, use your mouse and navigate. Second phase is when we're going virtual reality. As you stroll, I have a laptop Apple, so I can stream and go around. The navigation will direct you to any exhibits that you want to go to. And when you come to that exhibit, you'll see videos there, information, QR codes on each floor. Let me come back out. I don't want to zoom in it. Each floor has about 7 to 8 exhibits. This is the 4th floor, which talks about Native American Indian. Let me come back out. I'll take you back to the first floor. And we'll start from there. Oops. Once again, if you want to bypass that, go back to the first floor, which will go back to the first floor. And I'll stream and take you from the first floor, which leads you into the 16, 17, 1800s.
Thank you.
And you can reduce that page. Let's start with exhibit to the right, which is focusing on Africa. This is African's mask. I think we passed one west. It shows you the different, where some of the masks come from, the different elements of the mask, the country and the continent of Africa. And then strolling around, you just got to get used to navigating, get a feel. But the second phase, we're going metaverse. So our technical issues of the way you navigate is going to be completely different on the second phase. Another exhibit, take you into some of these, the pictures in the exhibit has videos in it. So we can click on that video and it'll give you information about the history. I won't show you the whole thing.
In a major discovery, a team, including the Smithsonian, has recovered the first artifacts from a slave ship. The treasure is destined for the National Museum of Africa.
And we'll come out of that. And this is just a navigation showing you on the first floor, that exhibit. Each exhibit has a theme that takes you through where you have to go. And we could come out of there, which I want to do. And it's timelines on each floor, which is what you see. This exhibit's focused on the timeline of Africa. Let me come out of this. The exhibit on this floor I love the most is the transatlantic slave trade. I like that the most. That just always caught my attention. I mean, my team did a good job, but the one I'm most in love with is this exhibit, the transatlantic slave trade. That's exhibit number 6. It's a dark room, which the second phase, we're moving into the metaverse on this second phase. So we want the walls to have the transatlantic slave trade pictures in the background. What you're going to see in the second phase is people walking around, stopping, looking at whatever's on the wall, QR codes, exhibits. I take you to this. This one captures my attention the most because of that picture in the back that you see right there. Transatlantic slave trades, as we know, shows you pictures of African Americans sitting on a hub of a slave ship. So this has a video to it, and it has audio clips. All of that's going to be in heightened. There's a video in the background, and there's tons of videos. So coming out of that, because it kind of gives you an idea of how to stroll when you log in, and you want to get an idea. Each floor kind of highlights where you're at and give you a full background. A lot of technical work that's put into this. This took us a year to navigate and direct. Now we're going into the second phase. Second phase, as I indicated, is going to the metaverse. I tell everybody we're happy to be the first virtual reality 3D museum in the country. I kind of tease some of my team saying we beat the big boys to building this platform. It's 4 floors of African-American exhibits. On the second phase, what we're going to do in the second phase, as I indicated, is taking you to the metaverse. So we're going to add on a theater, a bookstore, a cafe, radio and TV station upstairs. On the second floor, if you go to the second floor, what you don't see is the exhibit of Black women during the 17 and 1800s. And then more designs will have you at the comfort of your house sitting. I can take your face and put it on an Android and have you walk around the museum on any floor, or take you and put you in the theater and interview you on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. That's where we're going to the second phase. The metaverse is, don't let nobody fool you and think the metaverse is not going to happen. It will happen. Facebook is moving fast on this platform. Since we launched, we've been in touch with Facebook, Eqity Corporation, and many companies and schools that is interested in our platform. We'll see. We're just taking our time and trying to get that capital that we need to take it to the next phase, bring my team back together and build this.
Well, that's an excellent segue. If you'd be so kind as to stop sharing your screen now, I'd like to
Yeah.
have our audience to introduce themselves. Those of you, Sir Bailey and Kenneth, that were here earlier, perhaps you could begin. Then we'll proceed to find the people who make your dream come true.
Brother
Bailey,
Wilder, you beat me. Go, Kenneth.
go right ahead.
Thank you. I had a question about the platform and the transition from the current platform to the metaverse. And will you keep all your assets going from your platform to the metaverse? And what type of programming or whatnot is involved in your platform?
Yes, I've had that question brought to me a couple of times. Am I going to take down the internet part of it and just focus on the metaverse? No, we're going to leave the internet platform there. We'll add on tweaks of the metaverse, but the conversations and talks I'm having with Facebook and different companies, and Facebook wants to know if you build it on, if we put it on our platform, we're going to be there. So the metaverse will add that on. So you'll still, schools, library, people globally will be able to go on the internet side. We're never going to take that down. But the metaverse is just taking the platform to another direction. The question I often get is, what is the program that you use to build it? When I hired the architect a year and a half ago, he built it on a Rivet platform, a Rivet program, excuse me, R-E-V-I-T. The architect built it. We had to wait till he finished. Then my programming tech that takes my collections, my content, my data, Word file, pictures, videos, tons of information that made the first phase. The second phase, you're going to see a lot more. The walls are going to be flooded. We're going to have more designs and lighting. The programmer tech used a program called a Cupid, C-U-P-I-X. That allows him to load my content, design it based on my platform and how I laid it out. This whole virtual reality 3D museum is copyrighted, licensed, patent, and trademark. I own the content. I put the money into it, and hopefully I'm going to get it back when the social media part of it kicks in, where we can build up those hits, which is what we're focusing on now.
Thank you so much.
Great.
But Kenneth,
Great. One more thing.
Kenneth, please introduce yourself.
Kenneth Wyrick, Los Angeles. I have a company called CalTechNet, which is California technology that is dealing with the digital divide. And I mainly do open source ICT and information communication technology, which is ICT. And I have a very strong interest in this. Akinsanya Cambone has over 6,000 pieces that actually are ceramic, and most of them are ceramic, that ties Africa to African Americans. And I'm looking at how to virtualize his community. And then on the other side, I did research the Revit and the platform yesterday, and I'm so glad that you tied into the architectural program Revit and that sort of stuff. I understand what that is. So looking forward to having some offline conversation with you and seeing how I can support your effort, join in terms, I'm an art conservator, a fine art conservator, actually retired at this point, but worked with, I'm really interested in the African Museum at the Smithsonian, which Warren Robbins created and was curated and helped build, and Dr. Herbert Cole, who's a African specialist that I go back with the Friends of the African Art out of Santa Barbara. So really excited about this. Thank you so much. And we will be exploring more.
Let me say this, a lot of people do not know we're out there, that we've been out there since February. I put the money into building it and putting together the team. I didn't put that much money into the social media. The social media is very important when you're loading something like this. radio, PR, radio, TV ad. That's going to come. So second phase, my budget is roughly for the second phase is 2 million. I know I can, with the companies I'm looking at to adding on the metaverse, I can do it on the 5. Then people ask me, well, why are you adding on an extra million? Because PR, radio, TV, social media, that comes into play when you're pushing this brand, getting it into schools, K through 12, colleges, universities, and building it so the world can see it and it's in every language. That's why I didn't launch the app yet. I held off on launching the app. That was very important.
Well, we have the California African American Museum here, Exposition Park, and then we have Allensworth, the first and maybe only Black township in all of California. I'm on the board of that, and there's a new visitor center that's been funded by the state, so we're tied into the state parks. And CAM, California African American Museum, is the state museum of this, and they have all kinds of collections that would definitely fit into this realm. So I'm very much interested in, especially as an art conservator that is about the documentation, preservation, and restoration. And I'm tied in with the California schools, the K through 12, the higher ed, scenic. So the technology infrastructure, the digital divide, broadband, all of that ties into this. So I'm elated to be able to see this. Andrew, thank you for bringing this to my attention yesterday. And it's
Well,
like moving so quickly.
Yes, thank you. Actually, we have DJ Nod here as well, but Sir Bailey, you're next up. So Sir Bailey, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, definitely. This one of his students, Irving Alvarez, just tapping in with y'all. Most of y'all know me. I'm gonna turn on the camera too so y'all can see me. But good to see y'all. Good to know that we out here still doing with the movement. Yeah, well, I just wanted to say, like, a lot of people, like young people, are currently in the transition of
So do yourself, please.
Huh?
Your name?
He did. He said Irving Alvarez. You didn't hear him. You got to listen up. We're quick over here. We're quick over here in Hollywood. You got Irving Alvarez, brother Static.
Yeah, so real fast, I just wanted to say it's a great way to have our youth like be involved in this, because like the metaverse is getting bigger and people don't understand how much profit there is to be made in the metaverse. So I think it's just a great way to like advocate with our young people and just letting them be engaged in that process, especially since we got experts in the community that know more about it, and people like you trying to create museums and just have the youth be aligned with not just ourselves, but with the things that are coming up in the future. I think that's a great thing. I'll let the girls here take it over.
Let me point this out to you, that I don't know if you know that Microsoft invested, I think it's either 10 or $20 million in that hip hop museum in Brooklyn. They're not slated to open that museum until I think 24, but they are launching the metaverse part of it before the year is out. I think Dougie Fresh is involved, LL Cool J, I think Snoop Dogg is involved. All the old hip hop pioneers are involved with this metaverse, so look out for that. But I told them on the 4th floor, we have a music exhibit, and we're gonna take that whole hip hop form to the next level. I was talking to them, but they're focused on their own platform. Fine, that's the problem. Good.
So I want to introduce Brother Statics here at Youth Build Charter Schools. My name is Sir Love One, Humanities. I would say STREAM, science, technology, relationship, engineering, arts, and mathematics facilitator. We are about project-based with Youth Build, certifications, big up to high school, the recording arts in Minnesota, getting young people certified in promoting records, producing records, videos. We're not discouraging college. We're also encouraging the recognition of these young people as experts in their own lives, being open to being the chief future officers of their own vision. Introducing one of the up and coming fashion designers of the century, Brother Static.
How y'all doing? My name's Statics. Got a little clothing brand going on. He was telling me about y'all museum, so I'm working on this little project So I make like shoes, jackets, pants, and it's like the clothing brand is pretty going. Like I have a few celebrities in it, you know, like Trippie Redd, I don't know, like newer artists and stuff like that. But he just want me to speak to y'all and see if I could have more like work with y'all in the museum or stuff like that. You feel me?
Let me tell you, on our second phase, as I indicated, we're building a theater, bookstore, cafe. In the bookstore, somebody in Florida here approached me. Well, why don't you put a clothing line in the bookstore? And I started thinking, yeah, Borders, some of these bookstores, Afrozenic bookstore, do that. So that got us, so we've been talking. So send me some information on what you're doing and we can talk.
Okay, for sure.
Brother Walker, I'm regularly reminding folks that Amazon started as what? Bookstore, right?
Yeah.
Everything that Amazon is doing, they started with books. So as we see each other as experts of our lives, writing our story, big up to Ambassador Andrew Williams, continuing to encourage Los Angeles to document our stories, to get them into the Oliver Stone, the new natural storytelling museum, Universal Hip Hop Museum, Grammy Museum, everything that we do. These young folks are the future, and I'm just honored that they let me tag along. To God be the glory.
And also, I just wanted to add along, like, people don't understand that the metaverse is also a part of breaking the system that we have of financial stability. Because a lot of people are used to having banks in the community, you know, all that. And what we're doing with the metaverse, we're also reclaiming that, you know, our own financial well-being. So I think that's one of the biggest empowerment people don't understand about what's going on the internet and, you know, how powerful it is. And along with that, I think cryptocurrency is talking about uranium.
Uranium.
What is it? How do you pronounce it?
Uranium. I think it's
uranium. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That also speaking about like what's the difference between that Dogecoin, and just, you know, empowering people. And the great thing about that, like you're bringing it up, you can have a clothing shop in the metaverse, but in reality, you could be selling an NFT to a person. So people don't understand how much power it has in between it. So yeah, I would definitely, I appreciate y'all just for opening this dialogue, you know, because when I think about money, I don't think about it being physically in my hand all the time. You know, I think about it being in my phone, being in metaverses, you know, being in different places. So, you know, thank you so much, and I'll pass it back on to y'all.
No problem.
DJ Naj, John Kenny, are you there and available?
Yeah, I'm right here. What's happening, guys? How are you doing?
Bring it on. Can you unvideo yourself, or are you in a position?
Oh, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Can you hear me better?
Yes, we hear you.
We hear you, but we don't see you. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. Oh, how's that? There we go.
Yes.
All right. So what's happening? My name is DJ Naj, aka John Kenny. I'm an artist. I go way back with technology. I was trying to create virtual worlds back in '98. We're bringing in artists and tokenomics. So we're just now getting to a place where we can finally do the things that I've been envisioning for a long time. And I work with a lot of different folks here that's on this call. Most people here know me quite well. Anytime I can help out any way I can. At the moment, in fact, tonight, in a few hours, I'm going to be opening the smartphone right here, which is the only smartphone made in Africa. In Kenya, they have a plant in South Africa, and they work with Nigeria, the Mara Z1. I'm going to be having the first public opening here in Venice tonight. You know, these guys right here, I'm working with them because they also work with NFT technology. That's how they're going to be moving these phones in America right now. You have to buy an NFT, which supports artists in Africa. And then through understanding how crypto works, I've been getting pretty deep in it. I have a lot of clients in crypto right now and teaching folks how to think about crypto in various ways, whether it be metaverses, NFTs, tokenomics, understanding the difference between a coin and a token and things of these natures like this. So one of the things I'm doing with this phone and the NFTs is utilizing rehypothecation through crypto investments to bring back. And these are the type of things that I've been trying to bring to museums. So this would be a great opportunity to talk to you, because this type of technology is perfect for museums, and utilizing NFT technology, rehypothecation, gamification, tokenomics, and not just having going to a museum, but experiencing the history in the museum while actually earning cryptocurrency of various sorts, whether it be NFT or actually tokens from tokenomics. So these are the type of things that I could bring to the table.
Let me say this, you being an artist, and I grew up painting and drawing as a young person, not knowing I was going to get into research and filming and photographing, but that's a good thing. On our site, the second phase, we're in the planning stages of putting a link on our website. Instead of calling it Getty, dealing with Getty, we're going to call it the Black Sankofa Getty. In other words, we're gonna allow the artists to showcase their works. We're going to put a profile of you, your picture, your bio, some of your works, and allow you to sell your work. 80% goes back to you, be it a photograph or film, whatever you want, or a book. The other 20% goes in just the upkeep of the site. So we want to showcase the artists across the country. I've been approached by, since we launched, several artists down here in Florida are interested in working with us when we get ready for them. And
that's the theory that I was going to use in '98 with the virtual world that I was trying to build back then with the all-Black group. It was called the Underground Artist Channel, and it was a place for artists to put their art and sell, whether music, paintings, whatever. And at that point in '98, not many people really even understood the internet at all. So for most people to understand and grasp, at that point, I called them an icon, because we didn't have like home screens and all these terms that we have now. But you would go into your icon, you get to see the artist's work, like a presentation, you would get to buy the work from them. And I had tokenomics, where we had our own money system that was going to work within our world. So now with cryptocurrency, Web3, this is exactly what I've been envisioning for a very, very long time. And I'm also a photographer. I get in a lot of international exhibitions and
Sankofa 3D Museum has no problem collaborating and partnering with the right companies. We're very, very cautious about collaborating, but we want to give African Americans an opportunity to showcase their work, be it fashion, be it pictures, be it videos. Because once again, the metaverse is going to take this thing to a whole different level. And he that sits back and wait is going to miss out on opportunity. There are developers globally that can take you to the metaverse and build what you want to build, but you got to decide which way you want to go with that platform. Exactly. But Sankofa is going to leave the opportunities open for schools in California. Your platform, you're saying, well, Mr. Walker, I want your platform. I'm not going to use your museum part of it, but I'm gonna license it off to you. Or if school wants to take my platform, I'm gonna license it off to them. If I want to take your pictures and create a profile of you and put a link on that website, which will show your picture, who you are, your bio, your work, show inklings of it. And if globally somebody want to purchase that picture, 80% goes to you.
Well, this is where NFTs come in. So with all the work that's going into this museum on the different levels, different floors, they each have a different historical representation. So, and this is just an example I'm giving right now that could we utilize, we can get a lot deeper once we talk about it, but just as an example, we can take every piece of these pieces of art individually, make an NFT, sell the NFTs as a, the same way museums do for big donors, right? You know, when they have like a plaque on the wall and they get inside the magazine when you go and stuff like that, those people who give nice big donations, we know who we're talking about,
I'm gonna
right?
have a wall, I'm gonna have a wall on the first floor of, as you mentioned, those major donors. That's gonna be on the first.
Wait, so check out this. We can give you even more donors, because imagine every piece of art, every piece that's been exhibited is those plaques. So when you buy an NFT, you're a big donor, you buy an NFT of that plaque, right? I mean, of that artwork or of that historical thing. You don't actually get that. You get a digital representation of that, which is a badge or a VIP thing. So when you come to the museum, you get the same honors that you would as if you were one of these, you would get the same treatment as a donor who comes in and gets, you know, in for free. They get free front row seats. You know, you give them the special, and in that way you can raise more money and then sell the swag from each of the things in your gift shops to generate money, right? So now you're generating money 2 times off of the art, and you never get rid of the art.
You have the business concept. We need to talk. But the beauty about these 4 floors of this virtual reality museum, just like any other museum, when we built this a year and a half ago, we were in the midst of the COVID. So I wish I could have launched a long time ago. I'm like, wow, this is perfect timing to launch. But that's okay. My mother used to say things happen for a reason. But the museum can be interchanged. Each museum, we can change it up and put an exhibit on your work, put a fashion exhibit, history of Black designers and fashion, music. We can constantly interchange and tweak and change, as well as you indicated, we can license off the platform too. That's how you grow. That's how you grow.
Before we go further, let's introduce the queens of the house. Queen Amina is of particular interest because we began this conversation before she came in, talking about the Underground Railroad. She is the one that's in Windsor, Canada. She's the one brought together UNESCO to help to bring that UNESCO status as a place. Queen Amina, let you speak for yourself. Could you unmute on video and introduce yourself, Queen Amina, if you're still with us? And then Huda. Well, I see Huda, but I don't see Queen. Oh yeah, Queen Amina's here. Can you unmute yourself, Queen Amina? All right, Huda.
She's in class.
What?
Queen Amina just texted and said she's in class.
Oh, okay. Well, the floor is yours.
Okay, greetings everyone.
Greetings, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
It's good to meet new friends, and Andrew, Kenneth, Sir Bailey, good to see you guys again. Queen Amina, I think the only 2 people, 3 that I haven't met before. Lawrence, DJ Naj, and Makaku Yali. I'm sorry about the name. I'm here because Andrew invited me. I don't know a lot about the virtual museum. I'm very intrigued to learn more about what you're doing and where you are. And my background is policy.
Well, if I may be so bold, Huda, if you could just introduce yourself, Harar, UNESCO, and the historical implications of your own lineage, that would be helpful. And then we'll move on, if you could be so kind.
Okay, there's a museum right there. Yes, I'm from Harar, Ethiopia. Harar is the walled-in city. Harar, we now learned that it's Queen Sheba's castle, and Haile Selassie is the Duke of Harar, and my homestead is Harar, and it is UNESCO's City of Peace. It's designated to be UNESCO's City of Peace. It has the most concentration of saints also buried within her walls. Anything else?
Oh, I apologize, Huda. No, I won't put you on the spot. I'll just let it hang there, and open up the floor to Any other guests? I have Makakubu. Are you able to unmute yourself, Makakubu?
Doing the chair, Udamakia. Thank the Most High, Lion of the New Dawn. How are you? How's everyone?
How are you?
My name is Makakuva Ali El Bey, and I'm a colleague of Prince Hon Andrew Williams. He and I go back quite a few years. He is one of the founding members of the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network. And right now, the network is getting ready to launch on the Roku platform at the end of this month, October 29th. We're doing an event harnessing the diaspora economic current, Economic Development Summit. The woman is the mother of the nation. When you lift the woman, you raise the nation. And as of yesterday, Andrew, I was with Lou Gossett Jr., and Lou is going to be at the summit, and he's agreed that he will allow us to launch an award in his name, which is the Inspiring Humanity Legacy Award, the Lou Gossett Inspiring Humanity Legacy Award at this event. And then in November, as you know, Andrew, I'm the official high priest of the Universal Zulu Nation of Hip Hop. And because the hip hop industry has taken a deviant turn and promoting a lot of negativity in our community, as the official high priest, we're launching the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network is launching the 5 Elements of Hip Hop Global Humanitarian Knowledge Ambassador Awards at this event on the 27th of November to begin to steer the consciousness back to the basic element of knowledge in hip hop, which is the foundation.
Oh, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Makakubu. Also, if it's possible, I did invite His Excellency Sharif Balde from the Kunta Kinte, or actually from the Gambia. Could you talk a little bit about the Gambia and its implications for what we're discussing, if at all possible?
Yes. Well, my relationship with the Gambia began about 6-7 years ago when I was asked to lead the high-level talks for free and fair elections that removed Yahya Jammeh from office and installed through free elections the current president, His Excellency Adama Barrow. Subsequent to that, there is a project that we're going to be looking at launching in 2024, which is the Gambia Roots Festival Spiritual Return of the Ancestors Flotilla, which is designed to take a fleet of ships back across the Atlantic Ocean to represent the return of the ancestors and travel up the River Gambia to celebrate the unification of the ancestors off the bottom of the ocean floor in our effort to heal our people.
Good idea. Good idea.
Thank you so much. Well, the floor is open. There are a few other people that have not yet joined us, but I wanted to thank you so much for this opportunity. I did notice, however, that on your signature page, there's also a link to another, it seems to be relevant, website there. And if you could be so kind, sir, and you're still able to share your screen, could you introduce us to purehistory.com?
Okay. I think I could. Yes, let me pull it up. I can do that. Let's see. Okay. Let me go back.
Now I have it. If you'd like me to, I can break. Okay, go ahead.
I have it up, no problem. This is Pure History. This is 1 or 2, 3. My first website was the Lou Foundation, the Lawrence E. Walker Foundation, which focused on African-American history in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. And you see the categories there, drop-down box. It shows you information on family tree collection. My collection is there. if you stroll into it, education categories. It took me years to develop all these characters. It focuses on everybody's history. After I decided to take down the Lou Foundation and develop this and move it to another platform, museums, et cetera, bookstores, youth books, history. Give you one little example on the Lawrence C. Walker Foundation collection. This focuses on my collection. One that I'm most proud of is one of my books that titled Sweet Georgia Brown, which focus on African-American women in World War II. It's a lost history. Nobody knew women served during World War II. I had an opportunity in the 90s to read two books, Brenda L. Moore's book titled To Serve My Country, To Serve My Race, and Major Charity Adams Early's book. She was the first African-American female major during World War II. Then after I read both books, I did the documentary that's completed. I'll just show you 2 minutes of this.
No gal made a scarlet shade on sweet Georgia Brown.
It's taken a long time for us to be found and remembered.
In May of 1942, this thing came up about Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. A few months later, the head of the Navy said that Black women would not enter. Tears came out of my eyes. I cried. Well, Roosevelt didn't say black or white. He just said women. What would these women do? So 15 of us said, let's go down and see if they'll accept us. We were just guinea pigs. They didn't know what to do with us. Caucasian that was in there, it was an experience for them too, because this is the first time they had been around Black people. The military will never be the same.
At a time when our nation was divided, these women challenged America's military leaders to be a part of the armed forces and make history.
My commanding officer was Sheridan Yadda. Her job was to make sure that the best of the best was always presented.
For the first time ever, you will hear the compelling testimonies of these soldiers' impact.
We were unique. So therefore, the eyes of the world, so to speak, were on us.
Their courage,
They put me through a lot of drilling, but I got people on stars.
their sacrifice,
I've heard of company punishment, reduction in rank, but I've never heard of anybody being fired.
and their will.
We were determined that we were going to make it, and we did.
Lou Foundation's Sweet Georgia Brown. Beyond the call of honor. Beyond the call of duty.
So that's the documentary. The book came out about 2 or 3 years ago. And this is Major Charity Adams Early. The women just talked about it. Back in 1944, she was the first Black female major. So before she passed away, she wrote her memoirs. Just imagine you having a regiment of 855 Black women under that unit that you command. I read her book, then I read Brenda L. Moore's book. She broke down the logistic to what Black women went through during that time. I'll take you out of that. And let me just show for ones that did not have a chance of seeing the outside of Sankofa African American 3D Museum, watch this video.
Welcome to the
Sankofa African American 3D Museum, which is a virtual reality platform created to educate the youth of all ages, K-12 colleges, universities, and worldwide history buffs online about African American history.
In the beginning, man created permanent structures open to the public where adults and children could go to perform, research, conserve, acquire, and see exhibits, etc., for the purpose of education, study, and enjoyment. Today, Sankofa African American 3D Museum has raised the standard for going to the museum. The phrase going to the museum will never be the same again. All from the comforts of home and the click of a button, the Sankofa African American 3D Museum brings to life 4 floors of African American history via exhibits that tell a story and highlight the culture from introduction and the formation of the Middle Passage to the American Reconstruction period and beyond. From the comfort of home, children and adults of all ages can view the exhibits, enter a theater room, enter a bookstore, purchase items from the gift shop, order from the cafe, view a live radio and TV station that promotes African American history, and finally, view rare collections of historical memorabilia from the 1600s to the 2000s, with the emphasis of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York.
Let me stop sharing and I'll bring you back to your host. But I kind of echo what that video, the author of that video indicated. My mother used to always say, in order for you to know where you're going, you have to know where you come from. He that forgets the past is doomed to fail in the future. That's why I built this 3D museum.
That's why all of us are here to assist you in any way we can. We have had a recent arrival, Terrence Latimer. If it's possible, could you briefly introduce yourself? If you're available, Terrence Latimer. And if you choose not to, we'll open up the floor. I set aside an hour, so we have about 5 or 6 minutes left. But please, Lawrence, if you have a slide you can share with our audience so we know how to reach you and contact you. And I'd ask everyone here to be able to put your contact information in the chat for him. But Lawrence, I'm sure you have something that we can flash on our screen so that people who are watching can be able to reach you. I'll let you look around for a second, but Terrence Latimer, are you there, unable to unmute yourself? And if not, I'll open up the floor for any more comments. So the floor is open for any comments.
Just so, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll show you. I developed these QR codes and things for that. Here's my business card. Hopefully you can see that. I'll try to hold it as close as possible to the screen. Can you see that? Or should I pull it in more?
Well, we could if you take your background away, because all we see is your background, unfortunately.
That's not gonna work. But anyway, in the chat, I put my information in there. Just copy the chat. I put it in about maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago. These QR codes I developed.
Okay, yes, okay.
I had a comment. Are you familiar, Andrew?
Yeah, go ahead, Kenneth.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Sankofa Village in Leimert Park with Ben Caldwell and Chaos Networks?
No, I'm not familiar with that. No.
Okay, it's a total city development, People Street tied into Parks and Rec, biking, and a whole redevelopment of the transportation, the LA Expo line, which will be opening. It's next door to the Vision Theater, which is like 1,000-seat theater, maybe 900 and some odd, that will have world class with fly-in, and it's their whole Black cultural center in Los Angeles off of Crenshaw in a planned development area. It's extended from the West Adams So the Revit stuff that you've done is remarkable. But there is some newer technology that I would definitely, because it's always kind of changing. So the whole architectural and that sort of piece. So the Sankofa bird, and that's been my challenge, is to collect Sankofa. When I was recently in Nigeria, I collected some paintings of Sankofa birds, and that whole symbology tied into a village and the people and the cultural aspects. And so anyway, great. Thank you. This is very stimulating to me. Schomburg, I think about our great collections around, African-American collections.
Once again, I do know, let me back up a second. Once again, for people that are chiming in now, they want to know about our platform, how it was built. I hired an architect about a year and a half ago, and he built it. He used a program called a Revit, R-E-V-I-T program. Most architects use different programs, but the Revit program is standard for a lot of architects. Then after the architect finished, it took him, as you see the outside and inside building, it took him about a good 8 to 9 months to build it. And he got COVID 1 month that slowed the project down. And then he finally picked it back up again. Then once he finished, then the programmer tech that took my collection, my data, my pictures, audio files, video files to load on every site. That took the programmer tech a good 6 or another 7 more months to complete. Now we're going into the metaverse platform, second phase, where we want to add on a theater, bookstore, cafe, radio and TV station upstairs, and more designs on all the floor, more lighting, more designs, more content on every exhibit be loaded in. People walking around, I can take your face and put it on an Android and have you walking around and you're not there, or have you sitting in the theater and I'm interviewing you on a Saturday or Sunday morning, focusing on your work, clicking into schools, K through 12 colleges, having that teacher instruct the class to click on Sankofa African American 3D Museum, and we're going to walk through the first or second floor and stroll around. The student's face can be on an Android. This is where the technology is going. The metaverse is going. I must say, and I'm in touch with Facebook. We've been having meetings. Facebook is, as I indicated earlier, they're moving fast on that metaverse platform. They're building their own metaverse. A lot of other companies are building their own metaverse platform, but what caught my attention with Facebook is they're building it on a Horizon platform, Horizon and Unity, and I think other platform. I'm talking to a company in Columbus, Ohio, that has a contract with this company that understands where Facebook is going. But Facebook is moving very, very fast on their platform. If your host allows me, I can show you exactly where Facebook is going with their whole platform, if I can find it.
We're at your convenience.
Okay. See if it's here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me find it. Oh, here it goes. Okay. Let me make sure I share, and I'll show you where Facebook is going.
Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse. I want to share what we imagine is possible. The experiences you'll have, the creative economy we'll all build, and the technology that needs to be invented, as well as how we're going to all do this together. The next platform and medium will be even more immersive.
Like a shop.
Some call it skill.
Keep talking.
An embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. We call this the metaverse. Everything we do online today, connect with socially, entertainment, games, work, is going to be more natural and vivid. That's a little too realistic. Now, this is more of the style. We believe the metaverse will be the successor to the mobile internet. You're going to be able to do almost anything you can imagine. All right, perfect. Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Mark. What's up, Mark?
This place is amazing. The feeling of presence. This is the defining quality of the metaverse. You're going to really feel like you're there with other people. You'll see their facial expressions, you'll see their body language, maybe figure out if they're actually holding a winning hand. All the subtle ways that we communicate that today's technology can't quite deliver.
I knew you were bluffing.
Avatars will be as common as profile pictures today, but instead of a static image, they're going to be living 3D representations of you. Beyond avatars, there is your home space. Your home is your personal space from which you can teleport to anywhere you want.
Koi fish that fly? That's new. This is wild. The metaverse isn't something we're building so much as it's something we're building for. Across the industry, we need to bring that same imagination and commitment to building for interoperability, openness, safety, and privacy as we do for all the other product aspects of the metaverse. These have to be fundamental building blocks, just like the other software and experiences that we've been talking about. Our hope, though, is that if we all work at it, within the next decade, the metaverse will reach 1 billion people, host hundreds of billions of dollars of digital commerce, and support jobs for millions of creators and developers. We are fully committed to this. It is the next chapter of our work, and we believe for the internet overall. Beyond the constraints of screens, beyond the limits of distance and physics, beyond any one company, and that will be made by all of us. And I'm just incredibly energized to be on this journey with all of you. That was fun.
Good job, Mark.
That's the metaverse. I'll go back, share screen, but that gives you an idea of where Facebook is going. But Facebook is building their platform. There are zillions of other companies that are buying up space on the metaverse. And it's up to us as Black people to be a part of it and not be left behind. And that means coming together. I've always stressed that to people when I do talks. It's all about coming together. I look at Sankofa as I go, you go. As you go, I go. We all have our experts in certain areas, and it's up to us to get there. Let me just give you a quick glimpse. That video you saw, I don't know if some of you saw a picture. It was a picture on there, a screen of a picture. That's where the metaverse is going, taking you and having you go into that picture, focusing on Blacks during the Revolutionary War, Blacks during the Civil War, or a conversation with Dr. Martin Luther King or Harriet Tubman. This is where all the metaverse is going. And we can take it, as Black people, we can take it to a whole nother level. You'd be surprised.
I'm energized, and off camera, we'll talk about what your deck looks like for your next phase of your investments. But I did want to share with the audience this amazing conversation that we had. And thank you for indulging me to allow me to share it wider than just ourselves and our own commentation.
Yes, thank you.
All right, team, we're about to wind up. Now's the time for last thoughts. Make sure your contact information is in the chat. I think everyone has. The floor is open. Close.
All of it, my contact information is in the chat, but I'll give it to you real fast. Lawrence, it's L-A-W, Lawrence Walker. And my contact number is 404-536-0088. My email address is Pure History. I'll spell it P-U-R-E, history, the number 8 @gmail.com. And you got the website to Sankofa, which is www.saa3dm as in Mary.org.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, we're about to wrap it up here. Now it's time for any last thoughts. 3421.
Well, I was just gonna say, I can't wait to talk to you a little bit more because there's a lot about this technology that people don't really understand that's about to happen with the future of Web 4 as we're developing Web 3. And then I can't wait to show you a lot of information I have on a lot of hidden history of our Black history in relation to Europe and its ancestry to East Africa.
Well, the great news is you don't have to wait.
If you email me or call me, if I don't pick up, that means I'm constantly in meetings and Zoom calls, pushing this platform to get it ready for the second phase. Leave me a message, I will get back to you. But I tell people, call me. I respond to those calls faster than those emails and texts, but that's another story.
All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us. This is Andrew Williams Jr. Yes, this is the Andrew Networks, among other things. So
I think the young lady has a question. I'm not sure. She raised her hand. I'm not sure.
Go right ahead.
I just wanted to have a clarity. So this Sankofa 3D program is independent from the Los Angeles Landmark Parks Sankofa program?
Oh yeah, totally separate. It's a totally separate program, yes. It's the program when I designed it a year and a half ago, I copyrighted it first. Then I hired a lawyer, and then I licensed it, trademark, patent. I wanted to make sure this program got, I'm in full control. I mean, the lawyer said to me, anybody can copy anything, but that's okay. But I better not see any of my work out there. But we're happy to be the first museum, African-American, any museum across the country that has built it on a virtual reality platform. Now we have to move to the second phase, and that's what I'm going after, capital. I put my own money into it, over 200,000, and based on a couple of architects that I talked to, they said, you know what you've done? You built something that's probably cost somewhere from $500,000 to about 700,000. But I was able to go to each contractor or team person and say, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going, how much? How much? And once they gave me the price and I added it all up and figured out what I need, put together a good business plan, I ran with it. It took us a year and a half. And now we're going into the second phase where we're adding on each floor, every exhibit, we're adding on a lot more content, a lot more data, more QR codes, more videos. We want to see androids, as Mark Zuckerberg indicated, people walking around. That when that video, you saw the video, the outside video come stroll down and you see the school bus, the android started talking. Second phase is when we go into the door opens up and you'll see the lobby area, the other side of the wall. You'll see the lobby where you'll see the theater, bookstore, cafe, people walking around the cafe, ordering food. We're already in talk with Uber Eats and DoorDash. We're going to build it. So we're going to drive traffic. They're going to have to pay. One of the guests mentioned about the bookstore. If I'm going to drive traffic to Amazon, they're going to pay. I'm not doing it for free. We'll build the bookstore. We'll allow fashion designers to come in and pitch their wear, but we're going to send traffic to Amazon and other publishing companies. The money's got to come back. That helps keep the site. We can keep redesigning. Radio and TV station upstairs on the 4th floor, that's going to happen. And the exhibits, 2 exhibits that's blocked off on the 2nd floor you don't see is Black women doing the 1700s and Black women doing the 1800s. So we're designing that. Then the walls will be not as flat as what you see, more design, more lighting. This is what the company that we're talking to is going to take it to the metaverse stage.
Well, congratulations. All right, any final thoughts, any final questions? Now's that time. We're going to wrap it up. Okay, again, thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence Walker. This is Andrew Williams Jr. We're going to sign off for today. You can find this on Facebook, of all places, and the AHIABGA Network, and also on my own Facebook page, Andrew Williams Jr. So again, thank you so much, and I'll be following up to talk with you soon.
I just have one question. For people that didn't get the recording, is it any way we can click and get the recording from you?
In the chat, you can find the link.
Okay.
Right? And I will also download this as a YouTube, so I'll provide that to you as well.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Enjoyed this conversation. I thought it was going to be 15 minutes, but you were getting me to reload and rethink. And okay, no problem. Let's go. No problem. It was good. It was good.
It's good for the potential investors as well. So I
Yes.
think it's a very important time for us to do it. This is,
Yeah.
again, to let you know, I am on the National Advisory Board for the Universal Hip Hop Museum. So I do look forward to finding ways we can work and network together.
Sure.
So is Billy, who was here earlier. He's on our educational committee. And we do have various people in places where we want to create a circular economy. We want you to include in your business plan enough of a commission so that those of us that bring you money can get paid. So
Yeah.
please, that as we go forward.
No problem. We will talk about that. No problem.
All right, very good. I'm going to end the meeting for all. Andrew Williams Jr. Have a fantastic day.